Libra, 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 welcome to your Astroflower reading game from the 25th of September through to the 1st of October. Happy birthday to all of you having your birthday season out there. A special happy birthday goes out to my love. You know you're lovely. Happy birthday to you. I hope you have a lovely day and I hope you have a lovely reading. I've got loads of Librans in my life actually. And they're most amazing people. They really are amazing people. There is no doubt about it. There's no ordinariness to Librans. Amazing people. Anyway, love each and every single one of you. Let's just get on with your reading. Let's hope you have a lovely reading for this week here. Okay, first card out the pack. Queen of Pentacles. This is really nice. Overall energy, which is making you feel, and you had a really good reading last week as far as I saw. There's a lot going on with the birdies around me at the moment. They're obviously very excited. You had a really good reading last week, and there seems to be like a change of fortunes in you from last week. It's almost as like you've understood something, or something has been understood, one or the other. Could be on both actually, on both sides. And now the overall energy is now coming in for this week, where it's like she's sat at the tree of knowledge, and the thing is, she knows where she's going. She's giving birth, in theory, to that pentacle, to that new life. And because she sat at the tree of knowledge, she knows at some point that tree of knowledge, life itself, is going to bring fruits forward naturally. And you only have to wait there in order for it to happen, and it's going to come in quite quickly, apparently, for you. And it's going to build security and peace and harmony about where your path is taking you. On your relationships, so you had this change of fortune that happened last week, and an understanding, as I said, and this needs work. This needs concentrating on the smaller details, which you are incredibly good at, Libra. There is no doubt about it. You are so mentally quick that you can concentrate on the smaller details. There's no doubt about it. And I think this is your karmic path this week here, is to concentrate and work, basically. Relationships are lovely. They're beautiful things. And sometimes it needs work. Sometimes it needs play. And having that work play, I think, is really important. Now I think it's a time where, if you're just coming through your birthday, it's a time of applying that work within your life. If you're coming up to your birthday, it's really concentrating on those little details before the big off, as it were. Let's just see how the universe is influencing. You get the Emperor card as well. The Emperor, the universe here it's almost backing up that sort of like Queen of Pentacles as well, to sort of say, you own this. You can, if you put the work in, you are going to be the boss. You're going to be the emperor, the emperor of your empire. You're going to own all the world that is around you, the physical sense of the world that is around you. And the universe is really backing you up in a beautiful way. If you apply yourself. If you don't apply yourself, then yeah, it might be difficult. The universe may actually be the emperor to turn around and sort of say, I'm going to apply the rules on you, sort of thing. So I would do the work. Once you do the work, you'll get the best results out of it. Okay? How's it connecting your past to your future? Yeah, I think you've had a really tough autumn period. And the Astroflower, the last 3 months before your birthday, is what I call the autumn period. And we reflect over what's gone on in the past year and what's going on in the future, planning for the future. And I think that Ace of Cups is where you are at. You should be heading towards your love, giving your love out there, and allowing love also to come into your life. Having that fair exchange of love between you and another person, you and the world around you. Don't look for, I was right sort of scenario from the past. Forget about the past. Work to the future. That's what the change of fortune last week was all about. And this realization. Now you got to, nose to the grindstone and all of that. 9 of Wands. Going on a journey. Bonjour. People are turning up to go fishing. 9 of Wands, yeah, going on a journey, having those healthy boundaries. I think those healthy boundaries come out of the idea of what you've done in your life, how you've learned a lot, and this is what that change of fortune is all about, and what you've realised, what you want out of life. And I think you're going after it, and the healthy boundaries are also a way of sort of saying to you, Don't go back over the ground. And I think that's what that is all about. Don't go back over old ground that should be dead, done and dusted with, and moving on to a beautiful sort of Ace of Cups sort of scenario. Yeah, Six of Wands. Yes, I do believe it does need to work for you as well. As I said to Gemini, and I think this is very true, you cannot save the world. I cannot save the world, but we can. And in order for that we to exist, you have to exist. And I think here is where you're going to a place of where the work you're putting in, it has to be satisfying for you as well. Because if it's not satisfying for you, it's not going to be satisfying for the other people that are concerned within these relationships, that are connected to you. And I think you're coming to that happy medium, which is all to do with that security and harmony within your life. But it does take a little bit of work. It takes a little bit of effort. It takes a little bit of understanding. And also stop, tying yourself up mental knots. That's what that is a big thing about. And I think that's all part and parcel of that sort of Nine of Wands as well. You're going to get to a stage here where in all your relationships as you go forward, it's just going to be very, very rewarding in a very amazing way. I'm sat around this river. You can't see it. It's behind you there. You've got like some rapids that are just behind you, behind the camera. Very small sort of rapids, but it's the way the light is dancing off the water is. You don't need much. That's what I'm saying. You don't need much in life for it to be absolutely amazing. And I think this is where I think this week here is learning to take the pressure off yourself. I've told you before, take the pressure off your relationships and everything like that. And this is where I think you'll start to realise how much you actually enjoy you and your relationships that are around you, because you've taken that pressure off. Things that trigger you, that you don't like, so then don't get involved with them. That's the idea. That's the why we have these triggers. So we can either walk away with them or confront them and deal with them, so then they're dealt with, they're dead, done and dusted with, and it no longer becomes a trigger in your life. But whatever it is here, I think you've now got to boss it up and own you. That's what that Wheel of Fortune is all about. Nothing comes without input, and I think that's also within your relationship side. On your financial side, your karmic message here is to see the reality for what it is. And when you do, this is when happiness comes through. So you go through the storm, and as you come out the other side of the storm, that's when the sun shines on the rain to create that sort of rainbow. And you realised what you've been through and where you are now. And now where you're heading to, and this is what your karmic path should be realising about, you should be getting very excited about your future, financial future, jobs, business projects and everything like that. Because that brings you to a place where you're really, really happy about yourself. Bonjour, bonjour. Some people, as I say, come to do a bit of fishing. Young man doing a bit of fishing. Lovely place to do a bit of fishing. There's loads of fish down there. Yeah. Oh, watch out, fish. Someone coming after you, That's all part and parcel of life. I'm not going to get involved. Everyone's got to eat, as it were. Yes, being engaged, this is where your karmic mission is to actually enjoy now what you're doing, rather than putting too much pressure on this. I keep coming back to this, putting too much pressure on for you to get success and everything like that. If you enjoy it, I think that's when you're going to get the more success. And I think that. Lovers. The universe is telling you to fall in love with the workspace you are involved in. If you're not, then get involved in it. Walk out of that rain cloud, walk away from that job, walk away from that situation, and walk to something that is a lot better for you, that makes you feel a lot better. The universe is pretty much adamant about this, I think. It's that realisation, taking that pressure off and enjoying and loving life. I think that's really important for you. Where have you come from? Ten of Wands. These two things here, these two cards on this, I think this one here is going to be a difficult one as well. The one above this. This is where you come from. Yes, this is this pressure I'm talking about. You put yourself under so much pressure. Why? Why bother? Why do it? It's so much better for you when you don't. And because it's better for you, it's better for everybody else. you've been carrying a lot. In a way, that's a good thing, because it's almost as if like you've done a lot of experiences, so therefore you've collected a lot of passion, a lot of understanding, a lot of knowledge. Basically, that is also true. So I don't want to diminish it in a way. That is also true, and that is fabulous. But you cannot carry that permanently without using it, and at some point you have to use those wands in order to get where you are and get what you're doing. You are using them on your relationship side. Now it's time to realize that within your financial or your workspace side. Okay? Yeah. And when you really do fall in love with what you're doing, you're going to just kind of going, let's imagine you love playing tennis, right? Just imagine that, right? You love playing tennis, but you're carrying a load of balls for everybody else, so everybody else can play tennis. If you want to pick up that racket, you've got to let go of those balls. And that's what the situation is. Drop the balls. So, yes, I think, obviously might have been carrying too much expectations maybe as well, that sort of thing. Whatever it is in the past you've been carrying too much. This is your future self. This is what you're manifesting. And it's because you're falling in love. This is actually really fantastic. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So you've got the magician card. You are the magician. You're very good at manifesting. And if you look at this magician card, you can see on the table there's everything. There's a cup, there's a pentacle, there's a sword, there's a wand, there's everything you can possibly need in order to create your future. Which is that 10 of Cups. That's where your karmic path is taking you. Happiness. You've been carrying too much on in the past, you're letting go of it, and now you're really getting invigorated by a passion of where you should be going. Smarter every day. There is no doubt about it. I think you've learned a lot through that 10 of Wands. You've learned a lot about now looking at your happiness and engaging your happiness within your career path. Whichever way it's gone, it's actually providing a lot for you. And it's avoiding, the 7 of Wands is a realization. You're coming to a realization of putting into action your plans for your career path, for your business, whatever direction you're taking. Make sure it is a direction that you enjoy, that brings you satisfaction, that brings you joy out of life. Once you start doing that, you're going to avoid all sort of confrontations and complications in your future. Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. So we're just going to clarify with the Light Seers cards. Thank you very much for being here. Really do appreciate it. I hope you get the best out of these readings. There's loads of links in the description below that you can show your support in multitudes of different ways to this channel. Really do appreciate it. You can also show your support through YouTube as well, liking, sort of commenting, obviously subscribing and clicking the bell, but also sharing across all platforms really helps us out immensely. It's absolutely beautiful. There's also our sister channel, Somatic TV. It's all about energy, everything about energy, chakras, auras, earth energies, universal vibration, near-death experiences, dowsing, meditating, channeling. There's loads of things that's going on over there. So I'll see you over there for that. Yes, let's just get on with your reading. I was looking to see whether you had the Strength card out there. You don't. I think your strength, and this is where the overall energy is really helping you out. Your strength, which is this card here, comes through the understanding of the cycles of life and knowing where you're going. And I think that's become blatantly obvious to you over the last couple of weeks, really, within you. And now you've got to have that strength or that conviction of what you know is within you. And once you do have that strength and conviction within you, you will then really start taking very big strides forward. With the Eight of Pentacles, you get the Queen of Wands. With each pentacle that this person is working upon comes a passion that is connected to it. And I think this is where you've really got to sort of like, that's what you've got to work on. Work towards your passions. When you work towards your passions and your connections and your relationships with other people, you're going to diminish any complications and problems within your life because you won't have the time for it. You'll be too busy exploring your passions in life. And I think that's what the work is now. It's that change of fortune that's come into your life. Seize it and start heading towards your passions. Death and rebirth, my word. Everybody, all the air signs, that's for sure. A lot of people have had death and rebirth, right, already in all the signs. You're the last reading that I'm doing for the week. I saved the best till last, of course. But the death and rebirth card has come out, and every earth sign has come out in exactly this same position. How weird is that? And sometimes it's a clarifying card, sometimes it's the initial card. But this death and rebirth has to do with that change of fortune, and the universe is recognizing this. And the universe is either sort of saying, either you take full control and power over your destiny, or the universe will do it for you. One or the other. And if I was you, I would engage in it in a very joyous and happy way, Libra. Because when you do, that's when you're going to get the beauty. That's when the beauty is going to come out and out to the surface for you. You know, really come to fruition within your life. Okay, let's just see what's going on with that Four of Cups. Yeah, turn the Four of Cups into the Three of Cups, please. And I think this is where you're one of these cups, right? You're one of these people, and that's what that Ace of Cups is all about. Once you start heading towards that Ace of Cups, all of a sudden you're going to realize that you're going to be bringing a lot of your beautiful ways of being within social environments with other people that are around you, which is so loving and so beautiful, that you bring that into your everyday life, and it exists within your everyday life, and it's from the past. And knowing this is how good you are, basically, know how beautiful you are, basically, Libra. Know how beautiful you are. Okay, the Nine of Swords brings up the, is it the High Priestess? It is High Priestess. Hang on a second, I'm only just connecting it. There you go. The High Priestess. From the Nine of Wands, this is really good actually, because this is your intuition, and I think your intuition here is going to be your triggers. And the thing is, you can have a different reaction to your intuition, rather than kind of allowing it to trigger you and then kind of going, oh, I've got to deal with that, oh my God. Kind of trigger it, and you kind of go, okay, yeah, I've dealt with that in the past, I don't want to have to deal with it again. I'm going to just negate it in my life and continue on my pathway towards my passions and my happiness. And I'm going to work towards that. Or you can turn around and kind of say, yeah, I know that trigger. I don't have to worry about it. I'm playing with my own mind here. And I think this is where it's a very fine double-edged sword in a way. You know, sometimes we can say things to ourselves that we think that is actually protecting ourselves, but it's really just, you know, being detrimental to ourselves. There is that aspect of it all. And working out what is a good trigger and what is a bad trigger is a very fine line. And that's the beauty that you have that capacity of doing in very broad brushstrokes. You've got that capacity to know that. But the thing is, it's to feel it within you. And once you feel it within you, and sometimes that is difficult for air signs because it's air. You know, it's difficult mentally for earth signs to see that air side as well, because they're earth signs. You know, that's we all got to play to our strengths, as it were. And sometimes our strengths can be, you know, be used against us. So I would just be a little bit wary of that, you know, and I would allow yourself to honestly work towards your passion, and just allow your passions to be your guide more than anything else, because that's where you're heading. And that fair exchange, and that's what the Lovers is all about, is falling in love and having that fair exchange of love between you and the other person. It is just beautiful when it happens. And it happens because you are also giving yourself merit as much as you're giving the other person merit. And the other person is giving you merit as much as they're giving themselves merit. And that's what the fair exchange is all about. If you do this work, and I don't think it's that hard for you to do, Libra, it is going to generate for you the most secure and the most profound and loving relationships that you could ever have. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely lovely. Really doing well here, really doing well. I think it's amazing what you're doing here, Libra. Really do. Much respect for you, because it's hard to look at oneself like that, you know, and we all do it from time to time, and we've got to do it from time to time. Let's go on to the financial side. 10 of Wands, 10 of the 10 of Cups with the 7 of Wands. Yeah, I think it comes from you. I think you've got to decide to head towards this happiness. It's got to be, you don't have to defend your path from other people. You have to just be your path. And I think this is really important. Be your happiness. Allow happiness to come into your life. If you choose it, then that's what you will be received. And it will be the ultimate path for you to follow. With the Lovers card, let's just see what's going on with that. You get the Ace of Pentacles. Once you start falling in love with life, then you can all of a sudden, that's when these opportunities, these golden opportunities, they're not just golden nuggets, they're golden opportunities that the universe is handing to you because you are falling in love with what you do. If you really start engaging in that sort of sense there and really do enjoy what you do, the universe is going to provide everything. If you do it because out of obligation, that's when there's compromise. And that's where the universe may kind of be a little bit more sort of like, what, really? So I would really fall in love with what you do, basically. Obviously, you might well be in love with someone you work with, who knows? Because it's Lovers, 2 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. There's just some beautiful stuff going on here. And I think this is, with all that sort of stuff that you've been through, in order to, the accumulation of knowledge and understanding and passions that you've got in your life, now you've got to drop those balls because you've got to take up what you actually love, taking that tennis scenario I was talking about. And this is stepping into really what you love, converting your good hard work into a loving and a reality that really sort of sits with you. That's what the 10 of Cups is all about. And with the Magician, you get the 8 of Wands. This is really powerful stuff that's flowing through you at the moment. You can create anything you want at the moment. And because you're just going into your birthday season, as your birthday kicks in, this is where you can really start manifesting what you want. This comes in with a lot of offers. This comes in with a lot of vibration, a lot of passions in life, falling in love with what you love. And it's also sort of communicating with the world, sort of saying, as you're trying to manifest something, this is what I want out of life. So I would engage in that sort of like positive, not necessarily positive, I don't believe in that, but realistic more than anything else. But sort of saying, this is what I want. Being very honest with life and sort of saying, I'm not going to accept second best, basically. That's what that seems to be coming out there. And you need to stay true to who you are. And you get the 4 of Pentacles. Where do we not get the 4 of Pentacles somewhere else? I thought we did. No, we didn't. The 4 of Pentacles here. You're playing smart. Your wisdom of diffusing future situation is because you are being very discerning about what you put your time, effort and money into in the future. And that is a really good thing. Now you're putting yourself in a position because you have created it. And because you have creating this scenario, this career path, this job, this business, because you're creating all of that, you're knowing where you want to put your money, your effort, your energy, your time, your emotions into what you want to be putting it into. And when you realize that, you're not going to waste your time spending your time and money and effort on things that just are not really going to work. And I think that's what part and parcel of the playing smart is all about, basically. You have huge opportunities for you here. And they're coming from you. But you need to do the work. but it's going to bring you so much. It's going to bring you so much. There you go, Libra. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you get the best out of these readings. As I say, there's loads of links in the description below. You can have private readings, healing sessions with myself. And there's also links to our sister channel, Somatic TV, the channel that's all about energy, basically. Yeah, so all that's left for me to say is thank you very much for being here. Don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.